it's Lisa Rothman, the founder of StopFamilyConflict.com. Today's video is about how to stay connected and collaborative rather than getting into a bunch of conflicts with your partner or other family members when life gets lifey, which life has a tendency to do. So I'm going to give you a strategy for that. And it was inspired by a situation. I was supporting a husband and a wife who have a dog who is really struggling and needs medication. And the medication is expensive. They're trying to figure out the right dose. They don't want to give too much because that won't be effective. They don't want to give too little because that won't be effective. And they certainly don't want to give the too much because it's very expensive medication. And so they're trying to calibrate and figure out just what is the right dose, and they alternate who is doing it in the morning and the evening, and there's this tracking sheet and so what had happened was their fight had happened because the wife was trying to get information about what the previous day's dosage had been and what the reaction had been and where was the medication, and that they hadn't ordered new medication, and it was just like ay. And the husband, so it wasn't his morning to deal with the dog. The husband was at work. He was having massive deadlines and issues. She has all sorts of issues at work also. And the dog and the kid and all of it, And they were getting, the husband was just like, why is she sending me all these texts? It's this barrage. And I'm trying to deal with I've got a logistical nightmare. I'm managing 60 jobs and 15 people and vehicles, and I'm trying to and I'm getting this series of texts. I'm trying to respond to them too. He's like, I can't even keep it straight. And so he was feeling very irritated with her. She's feeling really irritated with him. Why isn't he responding to my texts in a timely way? Why didn't he tell me that I needed to order more medication? Why isn't he? And so it's like fingers are flying, pointing. And I was like, could we take one deep breath? And so it's to ask this question: is your problem really with the other person, or is your problem with the situation? And it's so many times, it's the situation. It's not actually the other person. This is a really hard situation. This is a really hard situation that your dog has these medical issues. This is really hard. Your issues aren't with really each other. Your issues are with the situation. And once we can get there, now all of a sudden we're on a team. Okay, it's us against the world. How do we handle this situation? So, the next time you find yourself, being really angry at someone, ask yourself, is it the person or actually is it the situation? And if it's the situation, address it that way. Now, there's a caveat to this, because let's say that it was the husband who really wanted that dog, and this isn't the situation, but I'm using a hypothetical. Let's say it's the husband who really wanted that dog and the wife wasn't so into it. We can now start seeing, but agreed to it, but it wasn't a real yes. Okay, so now we have a difficult situation where the wife would actually be holding the husband responsible for the dogs. Okay, now that's a much trickier situation. And I know this intimately because that's a situation that happened to me with our dogs. But it was me that really wanted the dogs. Well, the second dog. It was my husband who was like, I don't think we can handle it. You're pregnant. This is, And he was 100% right. It was totally out of capacity. And it was so difficult. And I learned a lot from that experience. And it's those hard learnings that I share with people. And so I do these regular family conflict transformation workshop series where you can learn more of the time to make decisions with each other rather than for each other. so that you can, when life gets lifey, it's going to be much more likely that it's going to be the situation and not the other person that you're holding responsible. But that takes some more work if that's the situation. So in the long run, though, in terms of you want to have less conflict when life gets lifey, it's to cultivate ways to make decisions with each other rather than for each other much more of the time. And so the details for the Family Conflict Transformation Workshop series, and the first workshop in the series is Mapping the Gap from Family Conflict to Clarity. All the details about that are in the description for this video. All right, bye for now.